Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Let's Play Siralim Ultimate. Now, last episode was a pretty good episode in terms of what we did and what we found. We got about 100,000, more than 100,000 piety in terms of the nether stones that we cashed in at the end. I think we found 4 cards, including the final card in the Carnage set, completing that set. But the episode was slightly ruined by the fact that, for one small thing, I had to look something up, and the only place that had the answer was a Steam forum page. And because I have the Steam app unlocked, it tries by default to open the app, to open the link in the Steam app, which is horrible because Steam just, they've never bothered to build a working interface for displaying web pages, right? So it opens this forum page, and first of all, it's glitchy. It doesn't even work properly. If you try and open it, the first thing it'll open isn't even the page that you clicked on. It's whatever previous page you had open. So you click on a link, and instead of opening the link, it opens something else entirely. You have to click on it again and open it again, load it again to load the thing that you're actually trying to look at. And then you can't, it doesn't have basic browser options. Like, it doesn't have Control F, it doesn't have, you can't go back and, like, forwards and back, between recent pages that you visited. It doesn't have any of these basic features. It has no business trying to open forum pages. And yet, and also, even if you try and disable it, the smartphone browsers will just not even acknowledge that you've tried to disable it, because that part of their whatever programming just doesn't even work. It's not even checked. I looked up a Reddit thread on this. Apparently, there are certain things you think you're putting in your preferences, but sometimes it just doesn't even check them, right? And so it doesn't even check what your preferences are before it just starts deciding how to open links. Long story short, I'm still really angry about the Steam app and how awful it is. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna let it ruin another episode. I just wanted to get this off my chest, right? Because last episode it kind of just snuck up on me, and there were other annoying things going on, like within the game itself, like game-related annoyances, and that just it all piled up, and I was just not happy about it. So I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. That what I was getting angry about, it wasn't me being, like stupid, or, well, I mean I am stupid and I am unreasonable, but in that instance, what I was getting angry about was something that's just, that's like, it's just something that I think frankly is beyond dispute at this point, that the Steam app is just one of the worst things on the planet, right? That's just beyond dispute. I think we're all in agreement that it's just an awful thing. So yeah, as long as we're all on the same page, I think we're ready to move on with the episode. But yeah, it's just, the other annoying thing is, so I guess I'm not done talking about it. So the other annoying thing is, you can in fact force your phone to open links in different ways, but I don't know if it changed because of a phone update or because of like the Google Chrome for Android, like if the phone browser updated. But the old way for for even doing that seems to like change every once in a while. So even forcing it to do something that it should already be doing, but it won't because it's ignoring the preferences that it itself has a page for. Leaving that aside, even the workarounds keep changing depending on like what alterations they're making to the browser. Long story short. Very, very long story. Long and frustrating story. But the short version is that the Steam mobile version fucking sucks. That's not to say that the Steam desktop version is completely off the hook. It's just that so the desktop version of Steam, my main issue with that, by the way, I think we're fighting a master right now. Again, I was so caught up in this rant that yep, 9th victory against the Sirens. But yeah, so like the desktop version of Steam isn't great either, just because it's gotten so bloated. And most of the bloat, if you really look at it, isn't really contributing anything useful to your life. Like I don't like I don't know, like, do we really need fucking like trading cards like that don't even exist? Like trading cards that exist entirely of fucking like it's just a bunch of data stored on some device somewhere, and it's like, oh hey, you played this game for 10 hours. Here's a like why like am I just old? Is that what's going on? But anyway, that's the desktop version of Steam, where arguably some of the bloat could be useful to somebody. Maybe it's an age thing, maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe young kids really love collecting fake, non-existent, quote-unquote, collectible cards that aren't even cards. Maybe kids really do love that. Who knows? Kids are into all kinds of things that weren't really a thing when I was growing up. But maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's a thing. At least there's some substance there. And then the debate is, okay, well, how useful is it? Whereas with the mobile version of Steam, it doesn't fucking work. It acts like malware. It's hijacking links that you don't want to open with it. Well, it seems that once again the game's trying to get me to shut up by throwing me some cards, and I will shut up soon. It's just that I need to get this off my chest. It's not okay. I could put up with everything else, but the fact that it tries to open up my... By the way, we're probably going to get killed by Xantai, so just a heads up, because we don't have Shimmer. And it seems that he has the Kichi. Yeah. All is based on... Enemies bleeding damage is based on its highest stat instead of health. Enemies take damage from bleeding 1 additional time. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. I mean, we gotta try. Oh hey, somehow we survived. But we've got to do an Archangel's Blessing now. Oh, what? We have less healing? That fucking sucks, dude. What? Okay, so maybe this is exactly what we needed. Like a tough fight against Xantai to take my mind off my issues with Steam. Excuse me? Who cast who did Mass Dispel? Who did that? Wait, why? Wait, why do... Why would you cast Mass Dispel? That's not a... And then we lost all our buffs? I don't know. Something feels fishy. Anyway, let's do a bit of Feign Death. I think we might be able to win. The fuck is going on? What the fuck, dude? Fucking stop, man. What even is this? Like, is anyway, that's done. We beat Xantai. We found a card, a Carver card. And now we have a few things left to explore in the realm. There's a realm quest that we still haven't finished. And the good news is that the Xantai fight kind of has successfully taken my mind off the whole Steam thing. By the way, the reason I'm still worked up about Steam isn't just because of what happened last episode. That's partially it, but I've had time since the last episode to cool off. It's because there was other stuff that I was looking up in between episodes. And most of those links are on the Steam forums, or a lot of the more useful links for this game are on the Steam forums, and I was out like doing groceries or something, and on the way back I was trying to look up some links, and I was having the exact same problem, which is, can you imagine how annoying it is? Like, you can't just click on a link. Like, you Google something and you can't just like tap on it to open it. You have to like long press it and then scroll and then click something else just to get it to open in your browser. And now I'm getting worked up again. The point was, like, there was a reason why I'm that upset. Anyway, I'm not gonna spend the rest of the episode talking about it. I've already explained it, and no reason to dwell on it, but just wanted to let you know that I may be crazy, but I'm not that crazy that I'm just gonna like, for no reason just hold on to this. Like, there was a reason. I was trying to look up other stuff for the game. Mainly Gate of the Gods stuff. So I was looking up the Universal Gate of the Gods party, because oh yeah, the goblet is full, and there's another Netherstone. So starting next episode, and then for a few episodes after that, we're gonna be ascending the rest of. We're gonna start ascending the rest of the specializations, and you ascend specializations by winning fights at the Gate of the Gods. And I haven't done the Gate of the Gods in a while, right? It's been like what, like 50 episodes, more than that, since we ascended the Pariah, and the rest of the Gate of the Gods stuff was done either with the Animatus, or a lot of it was done with the Fermented Hops party. So I just wanted to remind myself how the classic Gate of the Gods party worked, right? And that's what took me back to the Steam forums. Anyway, I've gotten all of the shouting out of my system. I wasn't really shouting, but I was still whining. I was still complaining. So I've gotten that out of my system. Guess let's start another training mission. I'm just gonna keep getting health, unless I have some specific reason to get something that's not health. I'm also gonna get this goblet reward. $30K. I mean, that's something, I guess. And you know what? I'm gonna roll this as well. So just give me a few minutes while I get that done. Just give me a moment. All right, that didn't take too long. Took about maybe a minute and a half. So that wasn't too bad. And I think we're just gonna carry on. We've already found one card this episode, which is good. An early card drop always puts a bit of a spring in your step. And ooh, and 424 is a very decent bonus to take with us into a random realm. But let me just check, make sure everything's in order. We do have a bounty going, right? Yes, we do. So let's dive right into a random realm. But yeah, to go on a more philosophical tangent. Oh god, what? What? They have extra traits, that's why. Because they obviously had the Bard trait. But I was like, but none of them are Bards, they're also not fused with Bards. But of course, then you read the fine print and then they've got extra traits. Well, we can deal with that. It's not too bad. Okay, and we got some of these guys. Oh hey! We won something. Skill 6th place it should be. Oh, we just barely missed the notoriety. And now we go to random. What a... Oh... Once again, we just barely missed the notoriety. And we just barely missed the start. Once again, we barely missed the start. So in this version of Monopoly, Siralopoly, you don't get anything for going past start. You have to land exactly on that, otherwise nothing happens. Skip ahead. Hey, look at that. We 300 notoriety. We won something. All right. All right, that's pretty good. Good amount of loot. All right. And let's see, are we gonna get anything out of you? Ooh, we nearly got the 3 Tauren. Not quite. That's okay. and yeah, the bartender doesn't really do anything for you. But yeah, just to round off my rant from earlier, my main issue with stuff like this is that, and it's not the only app that I've had problems with, there seems to be this mentality of trying to do things just because they seem like they are like sleek or futuristic things to do. Like, there's nothing really that useful or special about opening fucking web pages in some special app when browsers are already doing the job. Like, even if, hypothetically, even if Steam had done the work and built an actual browser, let's say that's an actual browser that's even better than Chrome. Let's say if they've done all that work, it still wouldn't add that much value to your life if there's a way to automatically open links in their version rather than the default browser. Because the default browser is already getting the job done. So even in the absolute best case scenario, it's just, well, I guess the game really doesn't want me talking about this stuff, eh? Because keeps trying to throw me off the scent about throwing me some cards. But you know what? Maybe that's the trick. Maybe I just gotta keep talking about it. That's a shambler, a sea shambler, I think, is the name of the race. Sea shambler, that is correct. But yeah, just to summarize, is that that's the problem with a lot of these things, is that people are getting a little bit too carried away with what technology is allowing them to do, and it's like the .com bubble all over again. Remember those memes? I mean, I was very young, so I don't really remember it firsthand, but I read about it. Like, you know, I think pets.com was the big symbol of the, you know, the decadence of the early days of the .com bubble before it all came crashing down. And basically what happened with the .com bubble is people, like it was genuinely a technological revolution and improvement over what we had. You know, the internet brought a lot, but some people went a little bit overboard, and we had to go through a bit of a readjustment as people started to realize that, oh, like, this stuff is good, but maybe it's not, maybe it doesn't necessarily need to infiltrate every single aspect of life, right? That's like a very, very simplistic version of that. Anyway, I definitely see a similar thing happening right now. It was already happening with the advent of smartphones, and basically the fact that our phones had turned into small versions of the computers that we already had, and then people were getting a little bit too excited about the fact that phones can do these things, and not really, like, they got too wrapped up with the fact that, oh, we can make phones do these things, and not really asking themselves, well, wait, like, what value does this actually add? Like, does this serve any purpose at all? Like, is there even a use case for this thing that we are going to essentially make mandatory, right? or like a not mandatory, but like a just foist on people as the default mode of operation. And so that was already happening just by virtue of the fact that phones have turned into what they are now. Right? The phones of today are not, the cell phones that I grew up with. And now people are like starting to realize the limits, and people are like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be spending this much time on our screens. Maybe it's, ooh, hey, that's good. 408. I'm not gonna summon anybody in this realm. I'm just gonna go straight to the next realm. So we were already going through that period of readjustment, and now we've been hit with another thing that's gonna have its own bit of a bubble, and that's this whole business about AI. And now AI moves so quickly that I'm recording this in July. You won't be seeing this episode until either the end of October or early November. By then, who the fuck knows what new abominations AI will have thrust upon us. But suffice it to say that we were already going through this thing with just phones and, portable technology and increased, like better telecommunications in general. And now, like parallel to that, we also have to deal with the AI bubble, because the exact same thing is going to happen, because with ChatGPT, which, generative AI and all its different variants, I'm sure are going to contribute lots of useful things. But people are gonna start doing the same things where they get over invested in it. They're like, oh, this is gonna change everything. And then it turns out, no, actually, most things probably aren't even going to change that much. A few things are probably going to change a lot. Certain types of industries, certain types of jobs are going to probably go. But when the dust settles, people are probably going to be... Hang on, why are we still casting Blank Slate? Didn't I change... I put the wrong macro on. Hang on a second. I need to do Rabid Dementia. We don't need Blank Slate for this. But yeah. So that whole thing with Steam, I saw it as basically... Oh hey, I think we got a treasure golem. I saw it as a symptom of the whole getting too carried away about what... Too carried away with what software allows you to do. It's like, oh, isn't it cool? We can just see if somebody Googles something, and if the link is for one of the forums in the, one of the Steam community forums, we can open it in our own app. Which, like, I can see where the enthusiasm for something like that might come from, but ultimately it's just not a... Like, you've gotta eventually just realize and understand, like, just how trivial some of these things really are, right? You're not actually changing that much, right? It's not actually contributing anything to our lives. Like, you have to have a reason, like a specific reason for doing something, rather than just being like, oh hey, look at this cool thing that we can do because of how, you know, on Android it allows you to like dynamically, is that the correct word? Like it allows you to treat different links differently depending on what app is claiming ownership over them, whatever. And anyway, so some of it makes sense. So if you try and open an Amazon link, it'll prompt you to open it in the Amazon app instead of just like on your phone's Chrome browser. Oh, we are about to get level 10 with the Electropod. So yeah, that makes sense. But that's because Amazon actually does have a working app, right? It's not, the Amazon app is not malware, right? It actually does what it's supposed to. Like, you open the link and it'll take you to the actual page that you clicked on, and it's fairly easy to just open it in like outside of the app if you really wanted to. But there's really no reason for Steam to be doing that with Steam community forum pages. Anyway, like, I totally glossed over the fact that we beat the Electropods for the 10th time, and now we can transmogrify into them. Anyway, that's a whole lot more ranting and raving. I don't know. Sometimes I get very disillusioned with the like the technological state of the world, not because I'm some Luddite and I'm like, oh, things were better back in my day, but because of how badly things are being done, right? Like, if you're gonna lean into the whole mentality of, oh hey, let's do futuristic things, at least make them work at least as well as the thing that you're trying to replace. At least as well as the thing that you're attempting to stop me from using, right? And if you can't at least hit even that bar, then what's the point, right? Then maybe you need to think about what exactly it is you're even trying to accomplish. Right, so do we want to kill all 20 of these people? We've already found like 2 cards in this episode. But you know what's better than 2 cards? You know what's better than 2 cards? That's right. 3 cards. Alright. Okay, so this time for real. I think I've gotten it out of my system. I think we're good. So yeah, let's talk about the game for a change. So I think the other reason why I've gone on all these tangents is also partially because I kind of know that I'm going to be taking a bit of a break from the game, so I don't want to dwell on the fact that I won't be playing, because I mean, even though I planned taking this break, even though that part was kind of set in stone. And even though I also roughly know when I'll be back, it's still... Really? You can't... I guess you can't go through that gap. Alright. But yeah, after the end of this episode, I'm gonna be taking several weeks away from the game. And we're gonna be... the series should still continue uninterrupted, but I will get a couple weeks off because I've built up enough of a backlog. In fact, this is part of the backlog that I'm making that I think should keep me going until most of the rest of this year. It'll become tricky once I start doing Ascensions because it'll be... I probably won't get through them as quickly as I get through, you know, like regular episodes. That's a problem for future me to work through. Alright, so no cards there. No cards there. But yeah, so I have about 2 months more worth of episodes to get through if I want to get episodes recorded for the entire rest of the year. Whoa, we got 377 and I've skipped past it. I'm a doofus. Ooh, but we improved upon that with 380. Hallelujah. Alright, let's go on. Let's go on. We have some water. Some delicious, delicious water. And let me check the time. We are at 37 minutes, which is a decent time. Oop. I want to make a donation. Let me see, how many cards left in... Ooh, only 2 cards left in the Carver set. Really, dude? Extra traits again? So we are now on page 11 of the candle. Alright, let's go this way. Jellyfish. We gotta get some jellyfish. Yeah, okay, so... I'm trying to think about is... So there are 30 bosses. You don't... We have nearly 300 keys. We have a... We have... So let's assume it's gonna take us 40 keys per ascension. You don't have to fight Caliban, so there are 31 gods in total. You only have to fight 30 of them. You don't have to fight Caliban for the purposes of ascending. So assuming it takes 40 per ascension, just to be on the very safe side, like let's say we get really bad luck with the like Muse and Tartareth and Gonfurion, and just everything goes wrong, and we waste 10 keys per specialization that we're ascending. That's 40 per. That means to get 5 done would take 200. To get 10 done, I mean, you know how math works. To get 10 done would take 400 and so on. It may turn out that in fact you don't need 40 and you can get it done with less than 40. That's something that we could only test by actually starting this process. So that is something that I'm gonna keep a close eye on, is that on average, how much are we spending per specialization? One important thing to keep in mind is that certain... Hello? Well, there's another... there's another bonus card, an imp card. So one thing to keep in mind is certain specializations might have some innate advantages. So for instance, if we're using evoker traits, then if we play as the evoker, for example, we can just have those as our regular perks, and then we can have extra traits as our like extra things as our anointments. For certain other things like Graveborn, right? Like nobody's gonna be using any Graveborn. Or like the Mime, I guess. Nobody's gonna be using like Graveborn or Mime perks as their anointments, right? So for those, you're going to, like, all 5 of your slots are going to be taken up, and your innate slots are probably not even going to be helping you that much. So even once we start the process, it's probably going to fluctuate a little bit. Like, certain ones are probably going to be easier or harder, depending on just which specialization we are playing as, even though I'm gonna attempt to do the same thing with all of them, which is do it with the Universal Gate of the Gods party and with the Fermented Hops party, and between those two, like, kill all of the gods that way. Right, we got some, we got some more combat out of this. We get some more, favor with fighting. So we found a 3rd card this episode. So that's 3 cards. It almost feels like the pace at which we're finding cards is picking up, although I'm sure we're just having a bit of a lucky streak. Take a look at something. We're on page 11 of the bestiary in terms of card farming, which is pretty good. Which is pretty damn good. Alright, I know that there are a few more chests. Yoink that. Alright, so there's a couple more enemies, but I'm not gonna go after them unless... well, unless they're close by, or if they're on the way to the exit. Oh, how many cards do we have overall? 689, okay. Decent. And I guess we'll kill the final 2 enemies, we might as well. Alright, take you guys out. Alright. Take you down. And let us leave. We're gonna have to head home. And I think we've got another boss fight coming up. Alright, let's do a bit of this. So we were doing tremors, right? Urul tremor we just got done. We have all the trolls done, right? Yeah, okay. So let's do the Quarnock tremor. And let's be careful this time. 364 is gonna do. So let's take on Myrtle in the Arachnid Nest. Luckily, there's no extra traits this time, so let's switch back to regular rabbit dementia. Please die. Thank you. Get some loot out of that guy. Oh, are they resistant to debuffs? They are, that sucks. But at least they don't have extra traits. At least there's that. Hey, we're gonna get a skin! Let's go! Let's go. I don't even know what creature that is. But it looked cool. What is that? What? Oh, my goodness me. Oh, we weren't even farming. What a... It happened again. Except this time, it's a little bit different. So the previous two times it happened, we were farming and then we were fighting groups of enemies that were all the same, so the card that we found was of the same race as the skin that dropped. This time we got a skin drop and a card drop from the same random, like, indigenous, like, you know, native realm encounter. And dude, alright, this makes me feel really, really good. Oh man. And you know what I love about this is that the happiness kind of comes in phases. You come to the fight, you notice that the God, let's look up the skin first. So it was a God, I've already. What was the skin that we found? Oh no. Oh no. Oh God. You know what I'll do is, at the end of the episode, I will. Was it a shapeshifter? Was that the skin that we found, or was the shapeshifter a card? I think the shapeshifter was a card. Oh no. Yeah, okay, so what was... No, I think it was Spellmain, maybe. Let me check. I think maybe it was Spellmain. Shade, Shadow, Katarina, slime. Yes, this is it. This is what we found. So this is the skin that we found. It was a Spellmane skin called Battle Beast. And I think Spellmanes are kind of like saber-toothed tiger kind of creatures. And this one just has a bit of armor. It's wearing some armor. Well, it looks pretty cool. And then we also found a shapeshifter card, which took us to 690. Which is very nice. But man, dude, like I was saying, like, so it comes in waves. So first you get into the battle, you notice that, oh, I'm about to get a skin. At the end of this battle, I'm gonna get something really nice. And then you're psyched up for that, and then you come to that screen, and instead of a skin, you see a skin and a card. And it is just... oof, man. It is it's just wonderful. Isn't that the 4th card that we found this episode? Like, we've been getting so many cards that I'm legitimately losing track. But regardless, this is a wonderful note to be basically ending episode 350 on. Not that I didn't even realize that there was a guy there giving us more loot. But I was gonna say, not that I'm even gonna be away from the game for that long. But even if you're away from the game for, like, let's say more than a week, it's still a decent chunk of time. So it's really nice that the game's being extra generous to us. So we, you know, let's go ahead and get some of these carvers on. Because we found 4 cards, but you know what's better than 4 cards? That's right. 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1. Okay, let's take out Myrtle. Alright, yeah, let's do some roots. And I think we're just gonna have our Dread White wipe them out. And if miraculously they survive, if they survive, which they didn't, my animators would have cleaned up in the very next one. And get some more nether stones as well. A bit more piety out of that. And let's kill some more of these dudes. How are we for time? We are 53 minutes. We can do one more realm. You know what? I'm kind of inclined to go up until the next false god fight. And just to give myself one more anointment before I go into some ascensions. I just feel like it might be a... a good thing. Not that I expect to get some super useful anointment, but we are fighting Mindworm. And he does have, you know, those Kabbalist anointments, I think. What are these guys doing? Stop. Oh, we got the bad outcome out of you. I'm also glad I remembered the name of that skin. So I knew, like, I knew we found a card and a skin I knew that much was correct, but I couldn't remember whether, like, I knew we found one thing related to Spellmain, and one thing related to, Shapeshifter, but I couldn't remember which was which. So I was like, oh, we haven't found a Shapeshifter card, a Shapeshifter skin. That must mean it's a Spellmain skin and Shapeshifter card by the process of elimination. But yeah, that was a... This is another thing that I'm going to be talking about, that I'm going to be dwelling on, but at least it's a more positive thing to dwell on than how much I hate Steam. Just how awesome it felt. Like, you already know you're about to find a skin, which is by itself enough to just carry a whole episode in terms of how awesome the feeling is. Finding a skin, I would say, is on par with finding a I'm gonna say it's on par with finding at least a Vex rune in Diablo 2. So you might be saying, hey, but you find skins like once every 3-4 episodes. It takes way like more like expected amount of hours to find a Vex rune. But the thing you're not considering is that each Vex rune you find in Diablo is interchangeable with any other Vex rune, whereas each skin in Siralim is a different thing. And even like your most run-of-the-mill skin, which is, you know, like just a like it's only a slight variation on what the creatures just regularly look like. Like it could have been just an extra creature, but they made a skin out of it. Even those skins feel really good to find. But then you've got the really awesome skins, like my favorites, which are like there are a couple that I keep talking about. One is a horde of tiny golems. In fact, they're worth looking at again. So some of my favorite skins, horde of tiny golems, which is a golem skin. This is still probably my favorite, and my second favorite is the revenant skin called Porpoiseful. Like, look at just the sheer amount of time the series has gone on, and there's only one of these in the entire game. So when you factor in that there, like, the subjective element of I might find a skin that is just really damn cool, on top of just the regular rarity of, oh, I might find any skin. That also makes it harder to compare to, like, rune drops in Diablo 2, because no matter how awesome it is to find like a jar rune or a bear rune in Diablo 2, any jar rune and any bear rune ultimately are oh, it just keeps on coming. So cards are more like runes in Diablo 2, in that ultimately you're just completing. Yes, each card has its individual name, but the point is just to complete the set. It's, oh, I need X number of cards, then the set is complete, and then we're done. Skins, like the subjective element of I might find a skin that is really cool. Like, look at the custom skins that we're using in our own party. There's a custom Mimic skin, there's the custom Dread, like the Darth Vader skin for our white. There's the Cthulhu skin for Meraxis, then there's the skin for the Animatus. There's all of that. And I think we're just gonna go ahead and fight Mindworm. Yeah, let's just stay in the arachnid nest and let's just take out Mindworm. Let's see it. I don't know if what I was saying, if I'm explaining it in the best way. My point was that in addition to the fact that they are rarer than cards to begin with, the fact that a lot of the skins just look really, really cool, or they have cool names, or there are other things about them that make them more special than just some unusual thing that you found. When you take that into account, it just elevates them. What the fuck is going on? Why did I get killed? Is there a damage reflection or what's going on? Who knows? What I do know is that we're about to make this dude immune to indirect damage, I think? Three debuffs. I love taking that. You get 50% for something that's easily manageable and not even that annoying. Top of the timeline, another thing that I love taking. 50% for something that, depending on who you're fighting, can be dangerous, especially if they have a lot of instant kill gimmicks. This is where it gets problematic. I mean, I'm gonna do it. Fuck no! Oh, what a waste. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, we found so much other good stuff in this episode. Like, I think, have we found, I don't even, I've literally lost count of how many cards we found, but we're at 691. We are at 691. Please stop. Ooh, treasure golem. Yeah, let's take out the leech master. Please stop. Why are they casting all their stupid spells? I'm gonna try and have oh, we only have one cast as well. Oh no. This is gonna be such a brutal boss fight because he has 20% damage avoidance. We have no additional attacks, no additional casts. He's immune to indirect damage. And we can only do 10% damage per hit. I shouldn't have given him the 10% thing. And we get the bad outcome out of you. And these guys have a fucking shield bearer. Fuck off, dude. At least he's dead. Fuck off, man. Get lost. Get lost, dude. Mythicants are fused with Mythicants. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Right, finally we can take you out. We'll do it like this. And we get nothing. We get nothing. We have 2 more enemies. Oh boy. This is gonna be a rough fight. I apologize in advance for having taken the 10% thing. But I mean, it's worth it because we've gotten some really good stuff from False God loot. So I just couldn't forgive myself if I didn't take the highest possible bonus that I could get. But I would not blame you if you, like, skipped ahead a little bit in this upcoming fight. Would not blame you at all. Just, you know, hover over the progress bar and you will instantly know when the fight ends, and then you can just skip to that part. Or you could, you know, stay with me and watch me suffer. Some people are into that. And if that's what you're into, hey, no judgments. You know? That's perfectly... Listen, I respect all preferences, even the weird ones, as long as nobody's getting hurt without their consent. Because I know some people are into that as well. And before we go too deep down this rabbit hole, let's go into this boss battle. Take out Mindworm, he spells fresh. Okay. So we need to do a bit of dispelling. We need to refresh the entangling roots. I forgot to check what his immunities were, because I'm a doofus. I'm a moron. Oh, he is not immune to indirect damage. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Let's do a bit more of this. Let's actually just do another Archangel. Just make sure everybody's fine. So he's immune to attack damage, evidently. Yeah, he's immune to attack damage. Okay. So we should do that, definitely. Lovely. I was gonna do that. I was gonna just keep on have him do this over and over again. Yeah, just keep on having this guy just cast his spells. You can just keep on doing this. That's annoying, but whatever. I guess we don't have any more wormholes. That's okay. Just do an Archangel. Just do an Archangel. Just keep on doing this. There we go. There we go. It wasn't even that bad in the end. We defeated Mindworm. Nothing in this. Nothing in that. Do we get any nice? Any nice anointment? Alright. Inverted, I don't really care that much. Deal more damage for each ethereal gem. That's interesting. That's something I'm considering. reduce each other's stats. They gain those stats. Stat changes persist through death. I think we already have things that are... We already have other things that do that, so counterintuitive. Yeah, so, no, sorry, Apex? No, it's Apex. More damage for each ethereal spell gem. I think we're gonna take this. A nice damage buff. Actually, let's consider this. Because there's no upper limit on this. It can just keep on going. So it could potentially be a pretty good damage buff. So let's take Apex. And our heaping treasure gives us... Drum roll, please. A couple of nether stones. Not enough of them are special. 8,000 nature guild rep. And we are almost done, but before we end this episode and before I go off on a potentially several week-long break, let's get a bit of farming done. Because this is also the final day for the for this particular instance of card week, so I want to get that. Get as much value out of that as I possibly can. And what we'll do is, if no card drops from this first group, I'll summon one more group of 40. Or like one more group of 20. And we'll see if maybe they do the job for us. Although some of these guys are casting spells, which isn't great. They're not casting spells. What are they doing? Anyway, let's just get through these. Get a bit of these guys farmed. It would be a huge bonus going into the Ascensions with another card set fully farmed. I would quite enjoy that. How are we for time? We are an hour and 13 minutes into the episode, which is decent. Which is decent. Alright. A few more people up here. Take them out. Yeah, I've totally, completely lost track of how many cards dropped in this episode. I feel like it's 5 or more. Oh. The game's slowing down. And it's hard to tell whether it's because I paused and restarted OBS or because Windows is doing something funky. Or because my computer is changing into night mode where it reduces red light. It could be any or all of those things. Sorry, it reduces the amount of blue light. And increases red light, or it makes things seem more red. Right, so that's all of these guys done. Let's get one more group of 20, and then these ones I will kill off screen. And I'll let you know how that went in just a moment, alright? See you in a bit. And on just the third enemy, we find it, and that has completed... Oh, that has completed the Carver card set. Here's the thing. Do I want to keep going? Well, if I want to keep going, I'd have to kill enough of these guys. I think I just want to call it good. I think I just want to call it good. I think I just want to... I think we found enough for one episode. I think we found enough, so we're just gonna make our way to the exit, knowing that there's no more cards to get out of these guys. The most they could give us is a skin. Which, you know what, I'll take it. Alright, let's just head home. Let's set a new bounty, although I don't know when we'll get around to doing it, because we're going to be doing Ascensions. And, we will... we will set a bounty with... Let's go with Hydronox. Yeah, let's go Hydronox. Why not? And now let's reflect on what we accomplished this up. Well, before we do that, let's get rid of our nether stones. So, you and you, and then there's a few that I documented. So there is a sparkling sphere, rarity 265, I think. Yep. Get rid of that. Next there is a lustrous bauble, rarity 251. Get rid of that. I said get rid of that, and by that I mean get rid of the picture on my phone. Then there is a sparkling sphere, rarity 214. Get rid of that. Next, a glossy globe, radius 244. Get rid of that. And now we're done. How much piety does that put us at? 1.42 million. Damn, we're really piling it up. We'll spend it on something soon. Don't you worry. But yeah, let's also take a look at some of the recent achievements that we got. We beat the Master of Electropods for the 10th time. That was early on in the episode when I was still complaining about stuff that happened in the previous episode. And we also beat the Master of Revenants, and we killed Myrtle for the 9th time. And that was pretty good. We also found quite a few cards. I don't know how many we were at last episode, but we are at 692 now, which is very, very good. We've completed the Carnage and Carver sets. The Centaur set would have been nice to complete just because it would give us more damage to nature creatures, which seems like a useful thing to have. But we'll get that later. I think we can make do without it. And then we found a bunch of nether stones. And just generally had a very good and very productive time. I did go on a bit of a rant in the middle of the episode about the various things that I think are wrong with the world, but yeah, you know what? Every once in a while you gotta get these things off your chest. And I just felt like I had to vent a little bit. You know, just to let it all out, you know. But now I'm feeling great once again. Feeling very accomplished after this episode because we got a lot done in terms of cards. We got a whole other set completed, and we also just like a huge chunk of the remaining cards. Like, however many we got, like 5 or 4, more than 4, like 5 or maybe even 6, however many cards we found. that is a huge chunk because there are fewer than 400 remaining, right? So that's more than 1% of the remaining, like, total outstanding balance of cards that dropped in just this one episode. And it's pretty good. I liked it quite a lot. But yes, when we come back, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. I'll have to figure out a way, like, will I put each one in its own episode? Will I do some sort of highlights situation? But we are gonna start ascending the different specializations, starting with the astrologer and just going down in alphabetical order. Probably to start out with, I'll do them in their own separate episodes. Once I get some rhythm going, and if we're doing them all in the exact same way, I might start cutting stuff out and just doing highlights. We'll see. But yeah, but yes, and that is gonna be the next little phase that the game is going into. How many keys are we up to? 301. So if we were 100% efficient and won every single fight we got into at the Gate of the Gods, this is enough to ascend 10 specializations. But we have to assume that some of these keys will be wasted. So probably this is going to be enough for less than 10. But that's still a pretty good chunk, and once all of them are ascended, then we just never have to worry about keys ever again, and that'll be a wonderful moment when it comes. But it's still far in the future for now. But anyway, that recaps what we did in this episode, and also what we intend to do in the upcoming episodes. So with all of that said, with all of that done, I think it is time now for me to say thank you so much for watching. Hope you've had a good time. And hope to see you in the next episode as well. And until then, take care.